All right, we are all set up for bottom paint this morning. This boat is looking brilliant. So what we're going to do is I need to come around here and tape off all of this. Once I get all this taped off, I can then just paint. I'm going to basically paint up to this right here. I'm going to paint all that and all this around the outside, tape all that, paint around here around the edge. So then that way I can pick this up. I got some plastic on the forks to not mess up the covers, but all this will be painted and I can pick this up, paint the bottom, and then splash it. So that's what we're looking like as of right now. And yeah, it's gonna be fine. I had to double bunk it. This is fine. But yeah, let me go mix up our paint. I'll get our tape out. We'll tape the whole boat, you know, just along the old water line. And then once we get that taped off, I will mix up. So we're gonna do some black. This is black paint. We're gonna be putting that on there, and then also this is a Trilux 33, which is also black, but this is a metal paint. So this is for, you know, developed for aluminum, compatible with fiberglass, and, you know, basically a metal paint. You put this around anything metal. You don't want your through-hole fittings, any screws, any transducer, none of that stuff. You don't want to use your regular bottom paint because it will create corrosion and it will mess you up. So you definitely need to put a metal paint around any metal, and then the rest of it, the field's just going to get normal bottom paint. So let me mix these up, let me tape this off, and we'll just paint. And once we get all the way around and paint this, we'll paint it 2 layers. So once we get 2 coats on there, then we'll just let that dry, and then I could start working on this. I need to change those cowlings out and get up in the boat and start knocking out our punch list of stuff that we need to do.
Now that we've got the boat up on the paint rack, there's only a little bit of time left for you to take advantage of the 25% off sale at bornagainboatingshop.com. So don't wait, check that out today.
All right, that is a black bottom on the bottom of the boat. That's the last section I did right there. So we are all blacked out around the bunk. So now what I can do is tomorrow, I'll call that the field, and I'll just paint that tomorrow. You know, let all this dry. Got this on there because it'll be a little tacky in the morning still, and I can just go ahead and hit all that in the morning. Got a little thick roll right there, but it's bottom paint. It's beautiful. So yeah, we'll pick that up in the morning, paint the rest of it, and be able to put this boat in the water. So now what I want to do is I think I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this engine. I want to take these chaps off and clean all this up, and clean that cowling, put those black ones on there, clean all this up. I'm actually taking, this is a 300, I'm gonna put the 225 on there, so that way it's a 225, so that way it's legal if we ever sell it, whatever. Probably run the 300, but use the 225 with it, and then I can go up there and start knocking out the little things that we have to do up there, being putting the cushions on, getting the hinges onto that front compartment and all that stuff. Here are my side chaps and my pieces. This one's all looking good. I need to polish these up, clean them up, but these should start looking good. I think I'm gonna have to keep looking. This one looks a little, that one's all pretty clapped out, so I think I need to find one more of these, but the rest of them, these are gonna shine right up. I just use my little polisher, and then I'm gonna be using some of this Meguiar's Ultimate Black. So Plastic Restore makes it shiny again. I'm just gonna do a foam pad on this. I'm gonna clean these first, obviously. I wanna wipe these all down, wipe them down, clean them up, and then hit them with the little polisher to shine them up, and then we can go put them on the boat. This one's gonna be fine. This one, like I said, I need to get at. I didn't realize how scratched that one is, so I'm gonna need to find another one of those. Ooh-wee! Look at this. Ain't that beautiful? I mean, you can still see, you know, some scratches, but it's a used thing. But yeah, that thing polished up beautiful. So let me just hit these other pieces and we can take them down, put them on the boat. All right, well, this has been a fun experience here. I've been trying to change out this rigging tube, but for some reason, somebody that really shouldn't be working on boats at all decided to put this many zip ties on all the rigging all the way through the rigging tube, so you couldn't even de-rig it without cutting this entire rigging hose like that far down to get it off of there. I don't know why someone would do that, but I think that they decided it was a wise idea and depinned every one of the harnesses, zip tied them all together, and then ran them through the rigging tube, which is just a bunch of work that is totally unnecessary. But now that I got all that straightened out, I got all my wires up, I should have enough space. I'm going to add about 6 inches of rigging tube to this, so that way when the engine turns back and forth, it will have plenty of space. And yeah, I'll be able to rig this and actually get this stuff cleaned up. I need to clean up that engine a little bit and get the cowling on there. But yeah, that was, I don't know why. I have no idea why people do that. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's like you're working twice as hard for no reason. This is how you run this rigging. All you need are 2 zip ties. You put the 14 pin on the end, and then you put your fuel hose. When it has this fitting on it, a lot of them you don't really need to do this. You just run enough fuel line to get all the way into the engine, but you can tie that there. You got the clean power, you got the boat harness, and then you don't even have to zip tie your power cables. You just put them like this into the bundle, and it'll all fit down the rigging tube, and you can feed it in through the rigging tube, no problems. Cut the zip ties off when you get it, and then that way, if you ever have to change anything, you can just tie a string to it and pull it through the rigging tube. So it makes it, I mean, it's very easy. See, there you go. Now I got it all the way through, and now we can actually just pull these out. So you can just pull whichever ones that still have some left in there, like our power cables, all that stuff. You just pull those through, and we can twist our actual rigging tube, so that way it'll slide into the piece against the transom, and we can put our fitting on here. Easy peasy. Cleaning the engine here, I'm just using a Gunk engine degreaser original. I'm going to just take my garden hose here, and we're just going to give it a little bit of loving, wash all this down. That's all dirty from putting it on, but yeah, we're gonna give her a little bit of water love. Just stay away from the intake, and that's pretty much it. But all the rest of this, you can even see all the salt coming off of this engine. Wash all this stuff down, and then we will spray it down with our gunk engine degreaser right here. A little bit of that. Yeah. And then we're just using one of these here brushes and brushing it off. And that's how we're gonna clean the engine. Now I gotta put my harnesses and stuff in there because all this stuff's unplugged. I forgot that, so I don't want to get too much water in there. So I'm gonna plug those in just to clean. I'm gonna dry that off and then plug this stuff in. All right, now that we are all clean, I got a little bit of a spot still there. We're going to go ahead and use some engine protector. This is the Shine. This top broke off, so I'm gonna have to do it by hand, but we'll go ahead and work our way around the engine, and we will shine it up with the engine shine, and then we'll be able to finish the rigging and put our cowlings on, and then this thing is going to be beautiful. All right, now she is looking beautiful, 100 times better than it did before. It's still a used engine, so I mean looks used, but I mean this is actually pretty good shape. I mean honestly, it's gonna work out real good. I need to put the top on here. I need to put this piece right here in and that piece there. Let me de-rig this and put it into this piece. Get that put on the engine, re-rig everything, get that side piece put in with the flush and the power tilt and trim, and then we can go ahead and put our cowling back on. So tomorrow you'll be able to see what it really looks like. This is great. So all rigged up, good to go, jack plate's done. My steering, what I want to do is I want to put these hoses into a bucket when I start the engine, so that way I can pump out any kind of old fluid that's in there. If it's gummy, all that stuff, I want to pump it into a bucket, get rid of it. So tomorrow that's kind of going to be what our focus is. Now that the engine is pretty much completely done, we can attach our hinges in the front up there. So I want to go ahead and put these hinges in. Once those hinges are in, I can put the gas shocks in. With the gas shocks in, all the cushions can go in up here, all the cushions can go in up here with the cooler, and then I only have to go in the console and kind of mess around with a couple things. I need to get a cap for this. That's all black, all chromed out. This is all looking good. I need to clean the control box. Other than that, I think we're pretty much, then back here we can put in the water, make sure it's not leaking, then the cushions can come in here. And then we just need to polish this whole back section here, and we will be, I think that's all that we have. So yeah, tomorrow we should be at least putting it in the water. I can lift it up in the morning, paint that little bit of the bottom, and we'll be able to splash this thing. I need to put a prop on the engine, but other than that, yeah, we're cruising.